guys, it's Carl Brown from GuitarLessons365.com. Today is going to begin our 4-day marathon of learning how to play Shine On You Crazy Diamond parts 1 through 5. So yes, this is going to be quite the marathon. It's a 13.5-minute song, and it's mostly a guitar solo. so there's a lot to get into. I'm going to break this up in 4 video lessons. So it's not going to coincide with parts 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 of the actual recording, wherever those are at anyway. So I'm just going to kind of break it down. We're going to start with this opening solo that I did and the opening main lick that comes after that. And then we'll go through the song after that. All right, so we're going to start here. I'm going to take you phrase by phrase through this one. Now, this first solo starts at the 2-minute and 9-second mark. All right, so we're in standard tuning here, and we're going to start with this first lick. All right, so what we're going to do here is we're going to start with a bend at the 18th fret on the B string. Now I have my on the neck pickup here too. You might even want to roll some of the treble off if you can do that with your neck pickup, just to really get a really warm sound. And obviously it's David Gilmour, so some reverb and delay will help you too. So we're going to start here, the bend at the 18th fret. Then you start doing the bend again, and you pick it. You pick it as you're bending up, and then you pick it as soon as you get to the full bend. So we have this. Now this is what you're going to be doing a lot of. He pre-bends a lot of these notes, which means you need to bend it and pick it after you've already done the bend. So you have to really be able to feel what it feels like for that to be a whole step or a half step or whatever he's doing. And when he's at the top of that, just to make it a more lovely experience, he adds vibrato to it. So it's not easy to do, but it's David Gilmour, so we're going to have to deal with it. So we have this. See that vibrato at the top of that bend? Just a little bit, and it gives it a little bit of life. And then we have this. All right, so that's from the 12th fret on the G string, then 11 on the B, 13 on the B. Do the bend, then pick the 13th fret without the bend, and then pre-bend to where you just were, and pick that note again. So we have this. Some vibrato. All right, so the next phrase. So it's a lot of the same thing. You're going to start with a pre-bend at the 13th fret, pull off the 11, back to 13, actually back to that pre-bend, back down. So it's just between those two notes. All right, then we have this little lick in there. All right, so that little lick is 10, hammer on to 11, pull back off 10 on the B string. Over to 12 on the G, back to 14 on the B string. Back to 10 on the B string. That's 10 on the G string twice, 12 on the D, back to 10. So we have this. All right, now back to those bends. We're going to... And those bends now are the 12th fret on the G string. Now that's a 1.5 step bend. So you needed to bend up to where it sounds like the 15th fret there. So you do the bend. Then again, pick it a couple times, release, then play 12, 10, and then that bend again. So coming out of that lick, all right, from there we do this. All right, so we started, we did that bend again, the step and a half bend here at the 12th fret on the G. Then 10, 12. Then the bend at the 13th fret, whole step. And then grab the 13 on the high E string. Then jump up here to the 18th fret again on the B string, whole step bend. All right, from there, the next phrase. All right, so that bend here at the 18th fret there, to 15 on the high E, to 18 on the high E, then a whole step bend, back to the 18 without the bend, then a pre-bend, a quick little pre-bend here at the 13th fret on the B string, pulling off to the 11. Just let that ring for a little bit, and then resolve it. That's 12 on the D, 10, 12 on the G. Then we're back to doing that step and a half bend there. Then 10, 12. All right, from there we have this. All right, so a lot of this, he likes hanging out right here and up here. So he's just kind of going back and forth between these sections. So we have, so we did this earlier, pre-bend at the 13, pull off to, play 11, then back to 13, and then the pre-bent, bend again. So we have this. Hold that, and then do the bend at the 13 again, into the 13 on the high E. And then we're going to jump up here into the 15th position. So that 18th bend, fret bend to 15 on the high E, back to the 18th bend. And then bend and release, pull off to 15, and then the 17th fret bend there on the G string. Then he comes back here to the 13th fret. He's going to end it with this. All right, so now we're going to start here with the pre-bend there at the 13th fret again. Pull off to 11 and back to 13 twice. Then slide 10 to 12 on the G into 11 on the B. Then the pre-bend again, release 11, 13 into the pre-bend. And then once again, we're going to do the bend. Doing the bend on 13, grab the 13 on the high E, and into the bend again. Then we jump up here for the very end of this opening solo. So that's a 18th fret bend on the B string, 15, 18 on the high E, then so we have 15 on the B, 18, 20, and the bend there on the high E string. Then the bend and release at the 18th fret, pull off to 17, then 18 on the B, then a pre-bend, whole step bend. All right, now we get to the main lick. I guess I call it the main lick, main riff in the song. First time we hear it, it's at the 3-minute and 54-second mark, and it's really cool sound. It's got some effects that I don't have on here right now, and he uses some of the tremolo bar as well, but it looks like this. so I'm going to just show you that, and then we're going to go into the part where the band enters. And there's multiple guitar parts going on, so I'll play something that's you can kind of do with just one guitar if you want. So we're going to start here at the 8th fret there on the D string, to 6 on the B, then the open G, and the open high E string. Really cool sounding. And just a little slow vibrato bar action. So he starts bringing those closer together. And then he goes, when the band actually enters at the 4-minute and 30-second mark. All right, so that's not exactly what David Gilmour does live. So I'll show you kind of what he does live, but that was kind of combining the two actual recorded parts on the album. So you start with this, that main riff, and then you jump up here to, it's like a D major chord, but at the 12th fret, makes it a C major chord. Then back to this, back to that C. And then we go back here to the F power chord, which is going to be off the 1st fret of the low E string. 3rd fret there on the A. Muted. And then slide it up to the 3rd fret. And then we're going to jump up and play this chord 2 frets lower, which really makes it part of a G minor 7 chord they got going. And then back to that riff. And then from there, instead of going to the high E string, we go to an E flat major chord here off the 6th fret there of the A string. You're barring across the 8th fret. Really, you want to focus on those 2 middle strings, the 8th fret on the D and the G, but you can also get that B string in there. Then he plays that and plays it slide down a fret and then back up. And then play just that 6-5 power chord. Back to that. Now when you see David Gilmour play this live, he usually does this. Just goes to a C major chord. Instead of hitting that open string when the band comes in. All right, and then to a G minor. Now on top of that, you can see if you want, when you get to this part, we have these chords on top, layered on top, which is the 11th fret there on the B and the high E. So we have this. That's when that chord comes in. It's the 11th fret on the high E and the B, and the 12th fret on the G. And then when it goes down to the D chord, that same chord shifts back 1 fret. And then you grab that. So really, you want to kind of listen to it and figure out which ones you think sound the best to do. But that's kind of what he does live, even though it's not really what happens on the recording. All right, so stay tuned for the next one. We're going to take a look at the 2nd guitar solo, which we just stopped at, and also what's going on during that synth solo. I'll see you then.